rare midday Friday game. We're playing game one of the Pumpkin Putt Classic here at the Promenade. Your Highland Hills Jaguars Midget White is going up against Arapahoe White, who we just played a week ago. Definitely be missing a few players. I didn't catch all the roster updates. So who was here and who wasn't before the game, unfortunately. I will say we will have two. Hey, Colin. Glad you're watching. Pay attention to class, though. School's more important. As I talk about all the kids on the ice at 11 o'clock on a Friday. We actually have two additions to our roster. You've been with the team for a while. You will recognize Avery Wagner and Rhino Coulter. Avery's number 89. Looks like Rhino's wearing 30. For some reason, I had it. On the face-off, Hendrick jumps it in the offensive zone. Arapahoe takes it out to the neutral. Bam with a poke check. And Austin chips it back to their blue line. Ian with a nice poke check along the far boards. Sorry, dealing with some paperwork. Puck comes up the near boards, out to neutral. Austin jumps it in the offensive end. And we go off for a line change. Arapahoe comes out of their zone for neutral. Nice poke check there by Speedy at the blue line. Arapahoe throws it off the near boards. Bam with the steal along the near board, skating into offensive end. Walks to the side of the net, shot off the mask, bouncing behind their net. Arapahoe throws it up to the near boards. Wesley brings it off the boards. Arapahoe with the steal. And in front, Andrew sweeps it to the far boards. Arapahoe throws it back around the end boards. And it comes out. Guillaume tipping it in their zone. Comes out to Speedy. His shot blocked. Guillaume pushing it up the near boards. Passes out to Bryant. Fans on the shot, but it gets up to Speedy. And comes back out to the blue line. And Arapahoe sends it right back down the ice. Just wide of the net. No icing. Thrown off the near boards. Nikolai picks it up mid-stride in the neutral zone, has a poke check to the far boards. Rhino skating in, picks up the puck, hands it back to Lewis. His shot is blocked. Arapahoe brings it out of their zone. Back for Nick in our end. Pass to Bryant. And gets turned around. Andrew having to play it to the end boards. And back and forth. Bryant picking it up, sending it into offense. Comes back out for Lewis. His pass kind of falters, intercepted. And nice job by Zeke lifting the stick. Puck comes loose. Rhino picks it up, skates in front of Andrew. Sends it up the near boards. Arapahoe turns it around in their end. Lewis turns around at the blue line. Nick pushes it to their blue line, has it taken away. Arapahoe skating to neutral, into our zone. Pushed wide. Lewis pinching him off the puck along the boards. Sends it out to neutral zone. Zeke with pressure along the near boards. Comes back for Bam. He gets it through, not through the neutral zone. Comes back to Bam at the blue line. Sends it around the boards. Arapahoe picks it up, skates out of their far corner. Into our zone, pushed right. Shot over the net, comes to Ian on the far boards. He just pushes it out of the zone. And then pressures at their blue line, comes back out. Bam picks it up, skates into their end. A long shot. Blocker save. Rebound just goes just over the net. Nice poke check. There's a whistle for a hook. I'm not sure who's going to the box. Austin. Number 6'7" for all the kids in the audience. Austin will go to the box for 2 for hooking. With 7:50 left in the first period. Guillaume on the face-off. He chips it off the near boards out to neutral. Arapahoe regroups at their end. I'll pass along your assessment, Colin. Arapahoe brings it into our zone, misses on a pass, picks it back up along the far boards. And at the top of the face-off circle, shot off the stick of Andrew. Rebound sent down the ice. No icing. Arapahoe brings it out of their end. Through center into our zone. Drop pass to the top of the face-off circle. The shot goes wide and up the far boards and out of the zone. Arapahoe regrouping in neutral. Avery with a nice poke check gets taken down. Puck comes to Bryant. Skates it behind our net and thrown to the blue line and tipped out. Regrouping at their blue line. Lazy pass. Speedy tips it back into their zone. 54 seconds left in the penalty kill. Lewis picks it up, throws it through neutral. Rhino pressuring. Puck comes loose in the far corner. Arapahoe picks it up, passes out to neutral zone. Bounces over a stick, and Arapahoe brings it into our end. Thrown through the crease to the far boards. Arapahoe centering pass. Comes to the top of the face-off circle, and a shot tipped up into the netting. Oh, nope, just went off the glass. Lewis with a pass gets intercepted in the neutral zone. Arapahoe brings it back into our end. Pass doesn't quite connect. Bryant picks it up, throws it out of our zone. Speedy picking up the loose puck at the blue line. A shot and a bad save. Speedy sends it back to the slot. Arapahoe sends it out of their end into ours. Lewis throws it back up to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Top of the slot, poke check sends the puck to the near boards. Thrown, in front, right through the crease. Laid off the far boards, another shot and a save. Another shot, another save by Andrew. Kept in our zone again. Comes around the end boards. Bam picking it up. Skates to the blue line, runs into Speedy. Nick picks up the loose puck, gets it into their zone. Penalty has expired. We're back to 5-on-5. Arapahoe throws it off the near boards. Bam picking it up, regrouping in our zone. Throws it off the near boards, but nobody's there. Arapahoe tips it into our end. Pushes the puck to the near corner. Awesome with the steal. And it's dumped out down the ice. Wide of the net. No icing. Getting around the boards. Bam keeps it in the offensive zone. Brings it off the near boards. Drops it for Nick. His poke checked away and it comes out to neutral. Arapahoe coming into our zone. 2-on-1. A shot in the ball. Nice shot on the near corner. So 4:17 left in the first, and we'll be down by 1. I will let Avery know he needs to move a little quicker. It's early on a Friday though, so we'll give him a little leeway. Puck comes out. Bryant sends it across for Lewis. Throws it off the far boards to Ian. Ian gets it out to neutral. It's tied up with a Arapahoe player. Guillaume picks up the loose puck at the blue line. Walks in, a shot blocked. Loose at the side of the net, gets sent to the far corner, pushed up the board. Guillaume tied up the player. Ian with the loose puck gets it up to. Nope, there's a. Both Guillaume and the Arapahoe player both going to the box. I'm assuming we'll be 5-on-5 still. 2 minutes for. Both get a roughing call. Yep, 5-on-5. 3:24 left in the first. Right on the face-off. Nick has a hook checked away. Arapahoe comes out of their zone, passes into our end. Turned around along the near boards. And back around, goes to the end boards. I wasn't watching, but the puck snuck in. So 3:03 left in the first, and it'll be 2-0 Arapahoe. On the face-off again. Comes in near boards. Arapahoe regrouping. Trying to push the play into the offensive zone. Speedy with a pass, tipped wide of the net. Arapahoe moving up the far boards. Comes out to Lewis. Neutral zone. Passes over to Rhino, tips it to Speedy. His centering pass blocked. Arapahoe throws up the near boards. Bam keeps it in the offensive zone, walks it up to the slot, and a shot off the glove. Arapahoe picks up the rebound, sends it up to near boards. Bam with the interception. Centering pass. fusion of a bunch of players in one spot. Arapahoe comes into our zone, another shot. 2:11 left in the first, and the Jags win by 3. Not sure what the yelling is about. Austin on the face-off. Set into our zone. Puck sent to the side of our net. Bryant passes over to Avery. Oh, doesn't quite connect. Comes back to Bryant. He passes or throws it out of the zone. Get down the ice. The icing with 1:45 left in the first period. Austin on the face-off. Avery sends it up the near boards, and Arapahoe throws it to the far corner. Throw it out to the blue line, but not out, and back behind our net. Avery throws it around the glass. Makes a weird bounce, comes right out from the top of the face-off circle. Shot tipped up into the netting with 1:26 left in the first. Face-off kept in our zone. Shot blocked by Zeke. He picks up the puck in neutral zone, skates into the offensive end. And that poke check is loose in the slot, thrown towards the goal, just wide. Pass off the end boards, and it comes out to Avery, the blue line. Zeke pushes it up the far boards. Austin. With the steal, they throw it out to neutral. Avery picks it up, dumps it back in the offensive end. 47 seconds left in the first period. Puck comes out to neutral. Avery with a poke check sends it into their zone. Arapahoe throws it through neutral. They say no icing. Bryant picks it up behind our net. He stops. Passes up the near boards to Hendrick at the blue line. Skates into the offensive zone. Big pass. The backhand shot and a save, but the goaltender recovers with 19 seconds left in the first period. Nick with the backhanded shot. Guillaume on the face-off. Nice poke check by Lewis to Guillaume. Guillaume with a shot. Saved by the goaltender. Arapahoe brings it out of their zone to our blue line. Bam throws it back out to neutral. And time will expire on the first period, so we'll go to the second. Arapahoe 3, Jags 0. extends, 12 on the clock. Arapahoe throws it off the far boards. Brought into our zone. Out pass, center shot. Saved by Andrew. Another shot was wide. The near corner. Out to the blue line. Long shot blocked by Lewis. It's it through center. In the offensive zone. Pushed to the near boards. Puck sent around the end boards. And out to neutral. We got a player into our zone. Pad save by Andrew. Another shot. 11:21 left in the second. Down. Face-off puck comes into our zone. Andrew plays it up near boards. Arapahoe throws it back into our zone. Bryant swats it to the near corner. Played up the end boards. Avery with the steal in the far corner. Throws it up the near boards. Up to neutral. Bryant with the steal. Skates it into our zone. Offensive zone. Oh, it's past to Speedy. Speedy not able to get much on the shot. Comes back. The shot and goal. Centering pass from Speedy gets to Wesley at the near side. And he sends it over the goalie's shoulder. The Jags falling back 4-1. 10:49 left in the second period. Wesley on the faceoff. Up the near glass, out to Rhino, gets in the offensive zone, skates to the front, gets pushed behind their net. Loose in the far corner, thrown out of the zone all the way down the ice. The icing, 10:28 left in the second period. Going off for equipment violation. Has to have the neck guard on. Off the face-off, Arapahoe pushes it up the far boards, checks out to neutral. Lewis picking it up in our zone. Stops, throws it up the far boards. Rhino up, not able to get out of the zone, comes back to Lewis along the end boards. Passes it for Zeke. Zeke chips it out to neutral. Rhino picks it up the red line, skating into the offensive zone. He's right, and a shot. Saved by the goaltender, and he covers. Puck was loose momentarily. The goaltender got a glove on it. 10 minutes left in the second period. Austin on the faceoff. Arapahoe's getting it out to neutral. Turned around at the blue line. Austin comes into the zone a little too early. Be offsides with 9:52 left in the second. All right, Colin, I got to know, what class are you able to watch this game in? Off the face-off, Arapahoe throws it down the blue line. And out to neutral. Nice poke check by Bam. Austin pushes it along the boards, comes back to Bam. He throws it up the near far boards and then sends it into the offensive zone. Arapahoe throws it around the boards, comes all the way back to our end for Lewis. Picks it up in the far corner. Sends it up for Nick. Arapahoe with the steal comes loose. Lewis turns it around. Centering pass. Stolen by Bam. His poke check with the blue line. Regroups in our zone. Pass back to Lewis. Kept in our zone again. Nick picking it up in the near corner. Throws it out to neutral. whistle for roughing. The Jags will go on the power play. With 8:49 left in the second. Dion will take the face-off. Ian with the shot goes behind the net. Bryant keeps it in the offensive zone, throws it towards the front, tipped on goal, bouncing loose in front. Ian with the follow-up. Sweeps the loose puck by the goaltender to make it 4-2 with 8:38 left in the second period. Power play goal from Ian. I saw you commented, Colin, but I wasn't able to look at the screen. So I'll have to go back and look at the comments, figure out what's faster. Guillaume on the face-off again, pushes it forward. Apple turns it around, throws it off the forwards. Bryant picks it up in our end. Passes out to Ian at the blue line, but just misses. Arapahoe regroups the puck in their end. Long pass, misses. Avery picks it up, throws it off in their glass. Guillaume picks it up at the blue line, skates in. Creative writing, that's awesome. Loose puck comes out to neutral. Bryant pushes it back deep into our zone. Busts the handle. Arapahoe brings it out front. Backhanded shot. Andrew with the save and cover. Stops the puck. 7:56 left in the second. Comes to the far boards. Arapahoe brings it out with a shot off the back of the net. Rhino tips the loose puck up the near boards. Bouncing out into the crowd. Keeping the face-off in our zone. Rhino on the face-off again. Bam picks up the loose puck, skating it through center, has a poke check away. Arapahoe comes into our zone with the puck. Shot tipped on goal and saved by Andrew, and he hangs on. Apparently has some things to say. Rhino taking the face off. Andrew plays the puck for Lewis. His pass misses. Arapahoe turns it around at the blue line. Wesley with pressure in their zone. Rhino chases in. Puck comes out for Bam. Pass it across for Lewis. Lewis skates in the offensive end. Swings right, and a shot and a save by the goaltender. 7 minutes left in the second period. Austin on the face-off. Puck comes back to Lewis. Chips it along the near boards. Right up along the boards, pushed off. Arapahoe brings it out to neutral. Our zone, they were offsides, but that's okay, I guess. Shot goes wide, comes up the near boards. Loose puck picks up Arapahoe, shot blocked in front. Lewis picks up the loose puck. Skates it off the end boards, long pass. Not quite connecting, it's tipped, no icing. Zeke pressuring in their zone. Puck comes up the far boards, Bam keeping the offensive zone. Walks in front, and shot tipped wide. Arapahoe throws it up the far boards. Nick fighting for it, and the puck comes out to neutral. Arapahoe skates into our zone. Drop pass on goal. Andrew had to make a save in front. 5:59 left in the second. Down by 3. On the face-off, pushed him forward, gets it into offensive zone, gets pushed back out. Arapahoe throws it around, skates into our end. Going right, centered pass, misses. Ian breaking up the play. Guillaume picking up the loose puck, skating through neutral into the offensive end. And a shot over the net, bouncing along the far boards. Bryant keeping in the zone, is turned around and sent out to neutral. Jump into our zone, they say no icing. Set up the near boards. Henrik with a steal. He skates it through the neutral zone into the offensive end. Good shot blocked. Arapahoe picks it up behind their own net. Ian turns it around and gets loose behind their net. Arapahoe comes out to the blue line. Skating into our zone. In front, a save. Andrew covers. 4:55 left in the second period. Right on the face-off. Right up in front, gets it up for Nick. Wesley sends it out of our zone. Rhino picks up the puck in their end. That's behind their net. Wraparound attempt, stopped by the goaltender. Puck comes up the far boards. Pass tipped by Bam. Wesley breaking up the play in the neutral zone. Arapahoe brings it into our end. Rhino with steal. Saying it was played with a high stick. So we'll have a face-off in our zone. Right on the face-off again with the back for Lewis. Lewis pushes it up the near boards, pass out to Wesley. Pass across for Nick at the center ice. He walks it in the offensive zone. Throws it to the near corner. Arapahoe tries to clear. Lewis keeps it in the zone. Centering pass just misses Nick. Arapahoe bringing it through neutral. In our zone, a shot over the net, bouncing in front. Andrew dives on it. With 3:46 left in the second period. Lost on the face-off. Henrik tips it to the far boards. Throws it to the blue line. Bryant sends it out of the zone. Arapahoe turns it around. Weird bounce off the glass. Zeke pushes it forward. Comes back to Zeke in the neutral zone. Pushes into the offensive end. Puck comes back out. Austin throws it into Hendrick. Hendrick dumps it in the offensive zone. Arapahoe brings it out. Spanned on the pass. Zeke with the steal. Lost it in the skates. Arapahoe not able to get past Bryant at the blue line. regains the puck, dumps it into our zone, but it's the icing. With 3 minutes left in the second period. Face-off, a shot from Bryant, saved by the goaltender. Ian picks up the loose puck in the corner. His pass intercepted. Set down the ice. Rhino chasing it back into our zone. Plays it behind our net. Ooh, penalties. Tied up in the corner. Complaints from the crowd. Pass tipped. Andrew sends it to the corner. And Rhino's pass tipped over to Henrik into their zone. Rhino with the puck at the blue line and it comes out of the zone. Bryant throws it back along the near boards into their zone. Bryant's going to go to the box. Well, we're going to have a penalty kill. That'll be 5-on-5. What's on you, ref? Looks like they're matching penalties. Don't know what. I guess we are going on a penalty kill. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the game sheets after the game. Figure that one out. Bam picking it up, skating into their zone. His shot blocked. Keeps it in the zone. Long shot wide of the net. Rhino picks it up in the far corner, walks to the side of the net, shot blocked. Loose puck, played by Arapahoe. Into our zone, corner cross. Bam picks it up and throws it down the ice, stopped at center. Played to the near boards. Arapahoe brings it off the boards into our zone. Shot and a glove save by Andrew, and a loose puck goes wide. Rhino picks up the loose puck, skates up the far boards. Skates into the offensive zone, walks in front. A shot and a save by the goaltender. It's loose in the crease for a moment. 58 seconds left in the penalty kill. Wesley taking the face off. Puck goes to the far corner. Going up the far boards off the skate. Speedy not able to keep it on the boards. Lifts the stick. Puck comes out. 45 seconds left in the penalty kill. Bam settles the puck in our zone. He lost the handle. Lewis picks it up. Throws it up the far boards. It's stopped. And hits the skate, goes behind our net. Seconds left in the penalty kill. Bounces out to neutral. Wesley picks it up at center ice. Stopped at the blue line. And there's a whistle. Offsides? Guess so. 19 seconds left in the penalty kill. 26 left in the second period. Wesley on the face-off again. Puck goes into their zone. Lewis pressuring. Puck comes loose at center ice. Lewis picks it up. Turns it around. Puck comes back into our zone as penalty expires. We're back to 5-on-5. 5 seconds left in the second period. Bam ties up the player. That'll do it. So we'll go to the third period down 5-2. On the clock. Boston on the face-off. Thrown into our zone. Bryant picks it up along the end boards. Turns around, skates out from the end boards. Neutral into the offensive zone, lost the handle. Arapahoe turns it around, tipped out to neutral. Boston faces it to the far boards, goes across into their zone. There's pressure by Nick in front of the net. Into our zone. Going to the Jeek's going to the locker room. I don't know how many players are going to be in the boxes. I see 3 already in Arapahoe. I see 4 in our box. Well, that's not how we really wanted to start this tournament. How about the goalie? Looks like there are 4 in the box for Arapahoe right now. We're pointing. I don't know what they're... Not sure what the explanation was, but it confused Aaron too. Looks like we are going to be on a penalty kill. Don't know for how long. $11-12 left in the third. I see 5 in their box and 4 in our box. And Zeke has been sent to the locker room. We've got a 2-minute penalty on the board right now. Ref wants things to get moving. Rhino on the face-off. Off the face-off comes out to neutral. Pass across to the far boards. Lewis picking up loose bucket along our end boards. Arapahoe with the steal in front. Bam lifts the stick, pushes the puck around behind our net. Up the far boards. Kicks it out to neutral. Turned around by Arapahoe, and they bring it back into our zone. Rhino picks up the puck. Has it stolen in the corner. Centering pass. Blocked by Bam. Rhino picks up the puck at neutral ice. Walks in the offensive zone. Walks out in front. Gets tripped. And as it be called, they're running out of room in the box. This will be the 6th player in the box with 10:21 left in the third period. So it'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 5. That's the most I've seen in a box, I think, ever. Rhino on the face-off, wins the puck. Has it taken away along the far boards, and Arapahoe comes through neutral into our zone. Centering pass misses, goes to the near boards. Bam pushes it along the near boards. He's out to neutral, and he's got some open ice in front of him. He walks in front. His centering pass blocked. Comes back to Bam behind their net. Arapahoe comes out with it. Pass out the blue line. Doesn't come out of their zone. Ian throws it back to the end boards. Arapahoe passes out to neutral. Comes out for Viome at our blue line. Pass across to Bam. Gets it out to neutral. Ian with a poke check steals the puck. Turns it around into our zone. Long pass blocked. Arapahoe keeps it in our zone. Tipped wide of the net. We are now on a power play for another 50 seconds. Austin's penalty has expired. Puck comes to Speedy along the far boards. He passes up to Wesley. He gets tied up. Puck comes back up. Their zone into ours. Henrik picks it up along the near boards. Sent along by Speedy out to neutral and down the ice. Go West! No icing, 22 seconds left in the power play. Austin bringing it off the near boards. Dumps it back to the end board. Viome tying Henrik at the blue line. One shot, the blocker saved and the goaltender. Okay. Don't bang on the glass. Arapahoe lost the handle at the end boards, and puck comes out to Austin. Gets it out to neutral, has it poke checked away though. Puck gets dumped back into our zone. 7:40 left in the third period. Henrik picks it up along the end boards. Pushes it up along the far boards. Wesley throws it out to neutral. Arapahoe turns it around, but he picks it up, skating into the offensive zone. Drops it for Henrik. A shot. It's going wide, but pad put on it. Thrown in front, loose in the crease, comes to Wesley. The shot. And saved by the goaltender. Oh, nice save. 7:14 left in the third period. Jags down 5-2. The ref's calling for a run clock. Rhino on the face-offs. Looks like all the players are out of the box on both sides. Arapahoe dumps it down the ice, so it's 5-on-5, and the benches are full. With the icing, 6:50 left in the third period. Arapahoe's yelling to stop the clock. Lewis with the puck at our blue line. Long pass to Avery, tips it in the offensive zone. A shot is tipped wide. Comes to Bam along the near boards. Bam brings it up front. A shot off the crossbar. Arapahoe picks up the rebound. Passes out to the blue line. Into our zone. A shot and a save by Andrew, and he covers. No. .548 left in the third. Looks like Wesley's going to the box. Off the face-off, Arapahoe with a shot and a save by Andrew. Loose in front, and Andrew holds on. As he got up into his glove, he hung on to it for our stoppage. Well, the clock's not going to stop, but the play will stop. I guess Austin is still in the box. I thought he had come out. Hawkins is speedy. Throws it off the near boards. Arapahoe's pass blocked by Nick. He gets it in front. Speedy with the steal. Throws it back out in front. Nick with a shot and a save on the goaltender. Puck comes loose. Out to Bam. Ships it up the far boards into their zone. Puck comes out for Lewis, center ice. Pass across for Bam. And he throws it all the way down the ice. It'll be icing. It won't be icing. 46 seconds left in the penalty kill. Throwing up the near boards and out all the way down the ice. That will be icing. 4:05 left in the third period. 30 seconds left in the penalty kill. Off the face-off, kept in their zone. Henrik throws it right in the net. Puck comes off the far boards for Speedy. Ties it up along the board. Penalty has expired, so we're back at 5-on-5. Arapahoe brings it out of the near corner. Pass out to neutral. Into our zone. Right in front. Nice poke check by Henrik. Getting the puck to Bryant. Bryant skating out of our end. Long pass. Misses speed. Goes all the way down. They say it's tipped. So no icing. 3:10 left in the third period. Puck gets sent all the way down to the end boards with 3 minutes left in the third period. There's icing, so we'll have another face-off in their zone. Face-off. Arapahoe throws it down the ice. On goal, Andrew with a save. Throws it out to neutral. Bryant picks up, skates in the offensive zone. He throws it on goal. Saved by the goaltender. Poke check by Guillaume. Arapahoe plays it behind their own net. Comes up the near boards. Shift it to neutral. Comes back to Henrik. He throws it back out to neutral. Arapahoe brings it back into our zone. Shot, save by Andrew. A loose puck thrown over the net. Comes to Austin behind our net. Pass up to Guillaume, misses. Regrouping Arapahoe's zone. Pass off the far boards. Arapahoe comes into our zone. Guillaume with the pro check. Let's try as Austin. Loose puck comes to Henrik. He pushes it up the far boards. Chips it up for Ian. Ian gets it in the offensive zone. A shot blocked. Goes to the near corner. And down the ice. They say it's icing with 1:13 left in the third period. I think the refs just want this game done. Rhino on the faceoff. Puck comes out for Bam at the blue line. Throws it to the end boards. Rhino throws it through the crease to the far boards. Avery lifts the stick, pushes it to the end boards. Puck comes back to Nick in the corner. Thrown across off the near boards. Arapahoe passing and playing it into the neutral zone. Dumps it into our zone. Lewis plays the puck. Ooh, lost an edge into the end boards. Front. I don't know if that got a net or not, but it didn't go in. Walk to the side of the net. Nice steal, and Rhino picks it up with 8 seconds left in the third. Pass up to Avery. Walks it in and throws it on goal, and the save of the goaltender. So, final will be 5-2. There will be some cleanup after this game, for sure.
That's gotta be better.